Can I ask you what Star Wars Detours is? I think.
Yeah, no, it's you know the guys who do Robot Chicken?
Yeah.
They're doing a completely thematic cartoon show.
Okay.
And it's going to be fantastic.
Okay, all right.
Seth and Matt, they're going to.
Yeah.
And what little I've seen, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Funny and great.
So it's Star Wars characters set in a sitcom setting.
Yeah, with their typical, humor and.
Is it is it an anthology the way?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
okay.
it should be good.
Okay. So The Phantom Menace is coming out in 3D next month.
Yes.
And I think I heard you quoted as to say that perhaps that would be the only one.
No. I think the idea is that we're all planning to do all 6, but we don't know whether 3D will be a viable market in 2 years, 3 years. I mean, we've already started on episode 2 and the groundwork for 3. But as I said, to me, it's an evolutionary thing. We just don't know where the business is actually going to go.
The plan is to go one a year, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Until it stops working, or it either continues to build. The real issue is for us, because it's being released 2D and 3D, is that it's, again, another generation, believe it or not. It's kind of quarter generation of people that haven't seen it in the theater.
Sure.
But also, it helped at the particular time that George made that commitment to further increase, just as Jim Cameron had promised Titanic in 3D, which is a beautiful job, which I just saw about a couple minutes of. And Peter with Lord of the Rings, it helped push the momentum for digital cinema, because without it, there's no way we're going to get the theater owners to actually commit to. We're not talking about we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000 commitment
for a theater.
For a theater, maybe 150 if they added to their soundtrack. That's nothing.
Yeah.
And they fight it tooth and nail.
Right.
Personally, 3D is an evolutionary step. It's just a thing. But for us, George and I and Jim Cameron and Peter Jackson and a whole bunch of major filmmakers, it was absolutely crucial, because the theater owners are so greedy. They could see that they could do a surcharge, and that gave them the strength to be able to go from basically optical to a digital presentation. Because at least now, if nothing else, I'll give you an example. In 2005, we did 22,000 prints worldwide.
Of Revenge of the Sith.
We had THX, 600 people checking those prints. We had all the resources, I wouldn't say power is the wrong word, but we had all the influence in the business, all the support. And we only got 200 what we would call AA prints.
Wow.
Out of 22,000.
Really?
The 22,000 was $40 million worth of prints. Because you got to get those prints, you got to transport them and everything else. So to have 200 prints and then those 200 prints go to good theaters, but then that doesn't mean the sound is any good. Right. We spent $5 million on the soundtrack. Right. We spent 14, 15 weeks in it, and there's only 4 or 5 theaters that you can actually hear it the way in which we made it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the big tragedy of the thing. You have a group of people who are really real estate mavens who do have no respect whatsoever for their audience, and they make their money from concessions, they make their money from the studio, but they don't. They average. My car has a better sound system than the average theater.
Yeah, it's true.
And a lot of people. But if you care about your audience, if you've shot on film, you have to transfer it to digital. No one ever understood that was our argument. We were never trying to tell anybody what they had to do in terms of acquisition of the image. We were just trying to say, look, if you care about because what happens is, if you're a cameraman, you're a director, you live in Los Angeles, you take your crew to the Academy thing, which is fantastic. You're showing a print of the original negative. It's not a real print of a film. And you don't see the film anywhere else. Well, of course it looks beautiful.
Right.
But for the rest of the world...
Yeah, go to Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, or anywhere else. You go anywhere outside of Los Angeles. You go to Riverside, California, or you go to Brooklyn, you go to Long Island, and you just can't... It's put on a platter. It travels 30 or 40 feet across a room on wires. Right. It's just the soundtrack is destroyed within 3 or 4 days.
Right. Yeah.
The theater, half the surrounds don't work because nobody knows how to use them or place them properly.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit. Whereas right now you can go off and buy a $699 THX approved sound system in your home. Yeah. And it finds itself where it should be. Yeah. And it does a little matrix for you, and you've got perfect sound.
Order it on Amazon, it'll be delivered to you.
Yeah, no, exactly.